Hello everybody. Let's talk about snoods or sewing snoods or snowing snood fails. Did I say snowing? Sorry, I probably should introduce myself in case you haven't been here before. I'm Laura and this is my YouTube sewing channel where I talk about style and sewing and pattern reviews and things like that. So I talked in my last video about wanting to make a snood. And I had bought this pattern, Simplicity 9631, and I thought I would be able to just take this scarf pattern, basically, and alter it to make a snood. In my head, it seemed really easy. But the fact that I'm telling you that shows that it really was not easy. So we'll get to that in a minute. But first, I thought I would give a little bit of a background on snoods. Maybe not everybody knows about snoods. I actually had always associated them with a different time period than one of my commenters, Stephanie. She had said that she had, you know, in the 1860s, that was where her familiarity with snoods was. And so I did not know that there were snoods in the 1860s, and so I started to research, and I found out that snoods appear to have been, snoods in general are, I guess now considered just hair nets, head coverings, those kinds of things. In the medieval times, up to the Renaissance, there were snoods that resemble what I think of snood, which is basically a hairnet, but it can be made out of any type of fabric, really. Medieval times it was crocheted or netted, and then the richer people had pretty gems and trims and ribbons and things like that on it to make them special. The next time that they're really popular is the 1860s-ish, 1850s. Well, that's not even true. There's this photo from the Metropolitan Museum that shows in the 1780s to like early 1800s that they were wearing a version of a snood. And then later on in the Civil War era and into the Victorian era, they wore snoods that were reminiscent of the earlier Renaissance type flavor of a snood, where it was crocheted, but they were much less adorned. They were more severe. They were kind of just more to keep your hair under control. Then in the 1930s and 40s, they made a resurgence, and that happens to be when Gone with the Wind came out. And so I kind of wonder if there was inspiration, maybe. They were used when the women went into the workforce, working around the machinery because of World War II. They would wear the snoods to keep their hair out of the machinery. Scarves, and probably scarf type snoods to keep their hair clean because they were working around all kinds of dirty things. Current day, I found some blog posts, which I will put into the description box, that talked about how current day is basically considered a scarf. Just a long scarf that you can pull up over your head. It keeps everything together, but it is around your neck. And so that's not what I was interested in making, though. I just wanted something to keep my hair back and look like a Renaissance maiden or matron, depending. I'm probably the matron side. But so I used this as my inspiration, and I first made the scarf pattern just to kind of see how it goes together. It was extremely simple. Two pieces for the scarf, and you just make the base part, and then you attach it to, well, and then you finish the edges on the sides of the scarf part, and then you attach the headband to the scarf, and you put in some elastic here. And this looks all bumpy because it still was too big. My elastic must have stretched when I was sewing it. Something happened, so it was loose on my head. So I just kind of doubled it over and then hand stitched it down. Pull it down, and it's a cute scarf. Very nice. It's a scarf. So I thought, piece of cake. We'll just use the same pieces. Well, let me just show you, because here is my multiple attempts. So I had the piece, the rectangle piece, you can see. So then I put elastic on the sides to kind of pull in that sides, so that when I pulled it up, it should hold it kind of in, which that worked better, but then the hair was still falling out the bottom. So then I thought, well, instead of tying like that, maybe I just need to make a bag. So I just, by this point, I was like, I'm not going to try to make it pretty, because obviously this is not going to be, this is the first go round. So well, it's probably the first, second, and third. But anyway, so I just sewed it up to see if that would help to keep the hair in. And it does do better, but I will put it on and you can see. Okay, it's on. I am going to spare you, and I'm going to cut out that whole like 4 minutes it took to get this on, because it was not pretty at all. Anyway, so it's on, right? And it kind of looks like it worked, but the hair just falls out of the bottom here. It's just, you know, it's kind of working. I'd have to obviously put on some, well, I do have, hold on. Okay, let me just bobby pin it on. Okay, okay, well, at least one side. So it's on, it'll work, but you can see it kind of falls out. So then I at that point, I was like, you know, I've got so many other things I've got to do. I need to stop with this. I like the beginnings of the shape. I like the way it's looking. If this was somehow without the wings, this would be okay, you know. It would pull it up off my hair, up off my neck. It would hold it back, and it would cover up my head. So if I didn't want to, you know, if I didn't want to do my hair or wet it or whatever, it would be fine. It would be cute. But it's not there yet. So I needed to stop trying. Hold on a minute. Let me just, hopefully that's better. I had to stop trying and move on, finish some other projects that I was doing. Holy cow, that really messed up everything on my hair. So I had to stop trying, move on, and this went to the back burner. So in the meantime, when I had been looking for Snood information, I found dog snoods. And I thought that is the silliest thing I've ever heard. But they're very easy to make because they are just a scarf. So I made some for my dogs. And this is what they look like. Ta-da! This is it. This is Revan's. And this is Xana's. And I can't say that they were really happy about them. I think Revan was probably less bothered because he's just the good boy. But I'm hopefully putting in all kinds of footage because they were all quite hilarious. And then because, you know, I can't leave the cat out, so Nyx got her own little Snood. And she hated it. And I think she hated me. And I think she might have killed me if she could have. So, but yeah, dog snoods apparently are a thing. and they are used to keep dogs that have really long ears, keep their hair back while they're eating and drinking so that they don't get in their food. They also use them to keep them warm. So the short-haired versions, like beagles and greyhounds, those really thin-skinned, thin-furred dogs that live in colder climates, they wear snoods, or snoods attached to jackets even, that protect them so that they can go outside. So that is my video about snoods. There may be a follow-up video someday if I actually make one that is functional, but I've got a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to be starting tomorrow. It's going to be Friday. I'm going to be starting Simplicity 8960. That is what everybody voted for out on my community tab. I put out a poll a couple of weeks ago for which one should I start next, and that one won. I will be starting that here soon, and I've got my Embrace the Lace that I need to get done, and there's so much to do right now. I'm not going to spend any more time on the Snood. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy this silly video, please definitely subscribe and stick around if you haven't already. Thank you to everybody who has watched, and I just hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.